you can always email me if you have any questions, and I'll hang around for a few minutes.
All right, I'm live. You're live. You're on.
Okay. So that's it. So I'm done.
Okay. Go ahead. Yes. I think they're waiting on you guys.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Hi, everyone. So we have two of our students. If you guys can chairs. So we have Olivia and Adam. Bianca, so sorry. I will let them introduce themselves. Why don't you guys tell a little bit about yourselves, what year in school you are, and what brought you to USF?
Okay, so I came here in 2017. Right now I'm in the master program of accountancy. So I did all my undergrad and I'm going into my last semester in accounting. Very excited. Been in school for 4 years, so I'm also the president of Beta Alpha Psi, which is an accounting fraternity on campus, and I also am a TA for Principles of Financial Accounting, which is a class that all business students have to take. So I'm going to see some of you as my students in class. So that's just a little bit about me. The reason I came to USF, they have a really good accounting program, and they offered the most amount of scholarship and grants to students. I come from a family that, if I didn't have that, I couldn't afford college. So USF really helped me to be able to afford college.
Hey guys, I'm Adam. I am a management major going into my senior year here for my undergrad program, so really excited about that. Reason I came to USF is I grew up in Tampa, so I was definitely around this college. My parents are graduates of the university, so I kind of grew up around the college, knowing people around the campus, and it was just someplace that I always knew I wanted to go to. And I'm so happy that I ended up here and that I chose to be a part of the USF family.
What questions do you guys have? To get clear of like what the fraternity thing, do you have to pay?
So we do have dues. The most expensive would become canon just because we're a national organization. So once you come get outside, it doesn't matter if you go to the school, you're always going to be significantly cheaper just because you have that membership fee. And I will say that, our organization, what we have inside us is we help bring in a lot of local companies. So the big four are all in downtown Tampa. We bring them in, we have meetings for them, we do socials. So a lot of our members, honestly, like 90 to 95% have a job like right out of college or an internship. So we really do try to help facilitate not just getting a job, but also building your business.
Get me in charge.
It's really important right now. A lot of companies, no matter what, if you're in accounting or management or whatever you're in, there's certain skills that I think a lot of companies are looking for. So we also try to build those.
How did you become a TA? Was that something you had to apply for, or?
So yes, I had to apply for it. There's different TA positions. Whatever major you are, if there's a math lecture class, usually teachers have TAs because it's a 300 student class. Not a teacher can handle 300 students. So yeah, we do an application process. Certain positions are only limited for the major. So for Principles of Financial Accounting, which is the position I have, it was only for people that were doing their master's in accounting. But there's a TA for it's business law, and it's all business majors are allowed to apply for that. So what you do is the semester before you want to become a TA, you apply for it, and they'll interview you, and then you'll go from there.
And so you can apply like as an undergrad?
Yes, I applied as an undergrad my spring semester, which is spring 2020. I was going to start fall 2020 my master's, so I applied then. Any other questions about school, work? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna ask, like, what's your program called again?
I'm in, for my fraternity or my school.
The school.
I'm in the Master's of Accountancy. I'm doing a concentration in assurance. Probably don't understand, which is completely fine. I didn't really know a lot about accounting when I started, but you have different concentrations within the Master's program. A little bit about it. The reason I'm doing it is to get my CPA. The CPA being 150 credit hours. It's just a lot of school. It's a good thing to have, I think, just under your belt that license. You have questions?
So you talked about there's skill set that employers like to see. Can you elaborate on what that skill set is?
Yes. So right now, a lot of employers like for someone to have presentation skills. A lot of times, whether it be in person or on teams, even working remotely, you're on a screen like I am right now, and you have to talk to different people and get different messages across. So being able to be public speaking, having writing skills, I think people don't understand that. They think business numbers, which yes, but you also have to communicate with a lot of internal people, a lot of staff, or maybe some of your clients. You have to. So writing skills, speaking skills, time management is not only important in your workplace, but also as you start your college career. You're gonna have a lot of freedom because you don't have to wake up at a certain time, or your classes you kind of can pick your own schedule. You're probably not gonna have your parents telling you like, hey, you have to go to class. So having time management to be able to do your work, get everything done on the time and manner, I think is really important. Not just for work, but also when you guys start college. Trust me, that's something that a lot of people don't think about. But I think that's like the biggest advice I can give you guys to other students.
Yeah, there's a question coming online. Joe asked, do you get paid as a TA?
Yes. This semester, yes. So next semester, usually you get two things. You get paid, and you also get part of your school paid for. So in the past, this semester, it was kind of different because with COVID being affected, the budget went down significantly. I think everyone was affected by it. So usually you get 75% of your tuition paid, and then you get paid on top of that bi-weekly. This next semester is just going to be a little bit different because you a single that out of pocket that goes right now. And I'm sorry, I'm talking a little bit fast. I'm Hispanic, I can talk really fast.
Can you tell them if they want to look up a list of the student organizations where they can find the student organizations?
You can go to Pulsing. Pulsing is a great way. Also, like your first couple of weeks, you're going to see a lot of tables outside, well, everywhere, but especially in Muma and maybe even inside in a lot of student organizations are going to have their pamphlets or boards explaining their student organization. And if you're not sure or it's not your side, like you can go up to them, like quietly on the side and ask them questions. We're not the only student organization in the business community. We're one of the bigger ones, but please feel free to speak to anyone. Also, if you have an organization that you have in mind that you don't really see at USF, you can build your own organization. I actually have friends that their junior year they built their own organization. So.
You can learn Spanish to find skills.
It helps. I think any language helps, especially living in Florida. A lot of people speak Spanish. But yeah, anything helps. Depending, a lot of people want to travel the world or work in a different part of the world. Learning a different language definitely helps. The same thing with computer skills, like Excel, I think is a really big part of every company right now. So also having those skills. So just having anything that sets you apart from someone that you might be competing with in the same position definitely helps.
I have a question for Adam. You lived in the BBC, right?
I did not.
But what are some of your interesting undergrad experience? Because you're still an undergrad.
Yeah. So undergrad for me has been a really good experience. You know, obviously my freshman year I was in campus and I loved it. I lived in the dorm, so I went to Juniper Poplar, which is about on the other side of campus. Anywhere I walked to on campus was about 15 minutes. So that was really nice. I didn't really have to plan too much. I didn't have to worry about parking either, which was a really nice thing. The classes itself, they weren't too big. I never felt, like a fish in the big ocean, you know what I mean? So I always felt like I had a TA with me, or I could go up to the teacher and ask questions if I needed to do something like that. So I definitely felt welcomed and not lost. I didn't have that many lecture halls either. I think I only had one or two in my entire freshman year, so through the first 2 semesters I was on campus. A lot of the other classes I had were no more than 25 students. It was a good combination of students to teacher ratio to where I could, the teacher could come up to me and ask me questions about how I was doing it and stuff like that. So I definitely felt catered to in terms of, getting response time from teachers and being able to ask questions without, having, 30 other students behind me trying to ask something as well.
For those classes that you took, were those in like the honors college or those just?
Those were just regular classes. I know for honors college students, the classes are generally smaller just because that's the same size for the honors college students. But even if you don't go honors college route, like the class sizes haven't been too much of an issue for me.
And some of the classes from honor college, you're gonna have to be mixed with people. I have a friend who lives in the honors college, and she took 7 classes at once. I don't know why. She really liked to stay to the thing, but yeah, no, it's a good experience. Any other questions from parents, maybe students?
Do you have any tips, because you are still an undergrad?
Yes.
On like your first day, do you have any tips for like getting around campus, like for classes?
My first day at campus, it was a little different. We could kind of tour campus a little more freely. For me, I lived on campus. We moved in on a Thursday, and my first class was a Monday. So for me, I kind of toured the campus on myself, trying to look for my classes. But I know I still got a little bit lost on my first day. So any one of the students here on campus are happy to help you. I asked a few people on my way, like, hey, do you know where this building is? And if someone else doesn't, they can either point you in a general direction or you can ask someone else. Definitely, not afraid to ask questions. And it's true, it's not that hard once you get a general location. But like I said, if you stop someone on your way to class, they know the right direction to point you.
Yeah, people at USF were very nice about that. I got lost because I never lived on campus. I was a commuter my whole entire 4 years. So don't worry, even if you're stressed out, there's also maps around the school, which is pretty good. I know in the education building, which is like right, is it still open? It should be, right? It's like right across from the library. Even the library, there's like maps everywhere. Also, I also Googled the map. I was like, USF map, like where things. But if you have any questions or you see anyone that like is walking to the cave, you can and they'll point you out. USF is really good about doing that because we understand. We've been there. It's a big campus. We've been there. So.
Adam, I think she was also referencing though, do you skateboard, bike, walk, bull runner?
Oh,
what do you?
I walked to campus. Like I said, when I lived on campus, the farthest walk I had was about 15 minutes. So nothing's too bad. I mean, bull runners, if your choice to, I think they can run every 15 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. I have a sister who also goes here. She skateboarded to campus. One of my roommates bikes campus. So there's definitely a lot of options you can pick too. It's just kind of what your preference is, but there's not really necessarily a bad option to choose from.
And like, does the bull runner have like a schedule, like when they like arrive?
There's a general schedule. The general rule of thumb is about every 15 minutes a bull runner will come to your stop. I think you can go online and check out like a more of a real-time schedule, but my rule of thumb is about 15 minutes, but I like to look it up as well just to kind of plan ahead.
Going back to one of the things that you said, so you said that skateboarding was accepted like mode of transportation if you get to get around campus?
Yeah, skateboarding is fine. I know, like, if you came into this classroom, you can kind of set up your skateboard on the back while some students will choose like leave under the feet so it's with them when but skateboarding's fine. The sidewalks are big enough to where you kind of have like some students walking, some people biking. It's a little bit, obviously, it's a little bit faster than walking. Just kind of, it's kind of whatever you prefer.
We are gonna move on to our scholarship drawings, but Adam will be around if you guys have any other questions for him afterwards. So we are gonna switch over. We're gonna bring our safety people online. And I think Jack is gonna use a very
What an honor. Here she comes, folks. The star of the show, what we've been all waiting for. Mispronounce your name, I apologize. Aubrey Mattingly?
Is Aubrey Mattingly here? Is she on our safety campus?
Or is she online?
We're online.
Everybody had a fair shot, so.
We had our St. Pete people ask, can you text me the name of the person? It's hard to hear.
Here, just say it again.
Aubrey Mattingly.
The winner is in St. Pete.
Woo!